corner of the map right now. To London is Afro.
And oh my God, there are just a legion of players here. Peekaboo, I've been here the whole time.
For the rugged. Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta up price for y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. A6 all the hay. I won't get involved today. Got lost in the ball and names. I'm flipping the bars. I'm flipping the
Octane.
That's what we wanted. That's what I'm talking about. He don't miss.
off record deals. Tell them talk to Colin for the quote. All record, off record eyes. Still want to act, not the ghost. For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Call of Duty League. And I actually read something funny not too long ago. Shout out to Medical Pianist saying, Veli's got to be fake. No shot is he really all this giddy and excited. Number one, listen, dude, I'm a complete nerd and I talk about video games for a living. I love this job, but welcome to the analyst desk. Of course, my name is Veli. I got aLLeY and Nameless as well. And for the second matchup, I am just as excited for that as well. We have London, we have LA, and
banger.
Yeah, we're gonna see if another LA team is gonna pull out a win. And speaking of which, it's not going to be easy for them, Nameless. They're going against London Royal Ravens, a team that is just waxing everybody right now. And when you have players like Zero and Afro on your team, sometimes it's just that easy.
Yeah, this is going to be a banger of a matchup, especially when it comes to these hard points. Like, these are two heavy-hitting hard point teams. On one end, you have the LA Thieves, who are 14-3. On the other side, you have the London Royal Ravens, who I believe are 13-6. You got Slayers on both sides in the AR position. Like, I am super excited for this match. For the Thieves, it really just comes down to their search and destroy, though. That is what I'm going to be looking at. These guys, they have not been great. Defense, they are number 12 in the league in win percentage. 4v3 win percentage, they're number 12. Plant win percentage, they're number 11. So a lot to work on in that game mode. Their map pool isn't that deep, so for them, that has to be the focus. Now, tell me what the game for keys to victory are, aLLeY.
Well, world-class hardpoint breaks. They're 14-3 in hardpoint this season, breaking 36% of hills. That is first overall, and they're going against a team like London, who depends a lot on their breaks. Have been struggling in that rotational area and show more improvement in S&D. Have lost 5 of the last 6 maps, 11th in round win percentage. I think the biggest issue right now with LA Thieves is they're trying to play that aggressive, get that first pick off S&D when they really find most success when they slow things down a bit. They play together as a group. They play for those slow trades in S&D, and then win the control coin flip. They're 4-0 on Gavutu, 1-4 on Tuscan. Once again, everybody's seen Kenny's tweet.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get Gavutu in the rotation, because you're just not going to win unless you happen to be the likes of Atlanta FaZe.
By the way, for everybody at home that are watching, if Los Angeles Thieves didn't choke against FaZe, this would have been the rematch of the loser bracket finals to get into that championship game to play against OpTic Texas. So this was a matchup I've been waiting for some time now. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time to lock it on down. Let's send this over to Lando and Steady. Fellas, it's good to see you, and boys, good game today.
What's up, fellas?
Val, this is going to be a great game. Appreciate you guys for breaking this one down. And I mean, what, Jay? Ant brought it down to the desk. It was like, this is going to be a banger of a series. I know we got the map videos to talk about. We got a lot of discussions to have. But the big thing for the Ravens, they're trying to go 2-0 despite not having Gizmo in the lineup. He's out for personal reasons, so we wish him the best. Paul X is in for his second series. On the other side for LA Thieves, they are trying, right, to essentially get back to where they started at those Major I qualifiers off the reverse sweep versus Atlanta. It's gotta hurt, but it's terrifying, Jay, because we're flying in for Gavutu, baby, and it's the Thieves.
Yeah, this is going to be a banger of a series, like Nameless said, because when you look at these teams on paper, they basically stack up on every single mode that we have. But as we get into the game, on the Gavutu hardpoint to start us off, London on this map are sitting at 4-2. The Thieves are 5-1. Their only loss has come at that major versus Atlanta FaZe, when they did lose that series on the reverse sweep. But you know the firepower that the LA Thieves have. Kenny starts already early into this game with 3, but the game crashes.
There you go.
The game crashes.
Yeah, that game ended just about as fast as the Attack on Titan drop, sold out for the 100 Thieves as well. So we'll do our best to try to get back into that one as quickly as we can. It's all good. You know, maybe that's the way that the Ravens win on Gavutu. You know, you ice the Thieves a little bit. We all know that the Ravens are pulling cords out here, all jokes aside. We're just messing around. But I don't know. Maybe that could be something. It gives us a chance to talk more about the vetoes because, as we said, I mean, this is kind of a statement type of moment specifically for London, because obviously if you're talking about both teams, you know, being at full strength, the Ravens can't say that, right? Thieves, this is their full 4-man lineup. On the other side for London, no Gizmo for the time, but still, they're standing up to the Thieves and saying, yeah, we'll play in Gavutu. We don't really care. What does that tell you about London, Jay?
Well, yesterday when we got to watch London versus NYSL, they did play a Gavutu hardpoint. They dominated that map. Paul X especially was the guy to watch. He's the guy that's coming in for Gizmo. Not going to be the the player on this roster for a long time, but he was just doing his job yesterday. I'm pretty sure in hardpoint, he puts up like a 1.2 at least both all those hardpoints that they play versus NYSL. And if you can do that today versus the best team in the hardpoint, then you're going to be in a great position to at least force a game 5. Because like we said, if we ever get a chance to look at our maps and modes, that map number 3, you already know. The Thieves won the coin flip, so they're going to have that Gavutu control in their back pocket where they are sitting undefeated on. But that map 2, at least for me in this series, is going to be Berlin Search and Destroy. And that's basically whoever wins that map is going to tell me exactly how this series is going to go. Because neither one of these teams have seen a lot of success on that map. 1-6 on the side for the Ravens. The majority of the time that they lose that map, it's all the way in around 11. And on the opposite side for the Thieves, they're sitting at 0-4. So that map number 2 is going to tell us everything we need to know about this series. But into the keys to victory for the London Royal Ravens, it starts off with Zero has to be in his bag. So far at the major, he put up a 1.12 KD. Sheesh. Yesterday in the series versus NYSL, a 1.26. Zero is really not messing around as of recent. He said his team's going to be top 4 at the end of the year. So far, they're starting off hot. Then continue playing total hard points, second in hold percentage and second in break percentage. That is a beautiful stat on the side of the Ravens, because if you keep in mind, in the beginning of the year, they were struggling off the rotations, and I'm pretty sure now they are second in rotations as well. So their hardpoint game has just hit a whole different level. And S&D First Blood Kings, winning 57% of their first bloods from the Royal Ravens. If you get that first blood, they are seeing a lot of success. Doesn't matter if Paul X is in the lineup or not. Give them the first bloods. You're going to allow Afro to just go out there, be a playmaker, the same thing he did yesterday, and that's eventually leads to the success of Search and Destroy versus team.
Yeah, without question. I mean, we know the Slayers that are on this Ravens roster, and a lot of people said it was a little scary, right, to not see the rookies, to not see the young players perform on LAN. But on the other side of the coin, you could say, well, yeah, the one guy who was questioned, the veteran on this team in Zero, he just happened to put up the best numbers for the entire roster. This team just screams consistency, and they could absolutely prove it, and on new levels, if they were to walk away with this game today versus the Thieves. As we said, we've got the new addition, Paul X, very familiar with this Ravens roster, and the man that sits to his right on the screen, he and Afro, right? We're the talking points around this team last year, and Jay, there was a lot of people who thought, right, that Paul X was surely going to have a position moving into Vanguard for the CDL when he was on one of those original Boston Breach lineups that was being rumored around. He and Venom, along with Methodz and TJ, gets his chance, and there is no better opportunity to do it versus one of the best AR combos that we've got in the game. I mean, it's argued, right? Paul X has a great series. That instantly brings his stock up.
100%, because especially when that you're going up against the Thieves on 2 Gavutus in one series. So that means he has to be there, especially from the play coming in from Octane. So far at the major, he didn't really pull up the best stats, even throughout the qualifiers. He's sitting overall at a 0.97 KD in hardpoint. And when you're talking about a player like Octane, with the LA Thieves roster, they have been playing a lot of the Gavutu. Don't understand why teams are choosing it, but they have just been blessed with a lot of Gavutu hardpoints and control. So you would expect Octane's numbers to be out of this world on a map like Gavutu. But so far, he's sitting at a 0.97. Looking at him to answer early into this series.
Yeah, looking at Octane, and really from the Thieves, the one thing that is scary, though, about their hardpoints is that nobody ranks above like a 1.06. Nobody sits below a 0.97. It is all around consistent from this Thieves team in hardpoint as we are ready for the reset. On into the Gavutu, and it appears that everybody's frying except for Drazah. He dies by a barrel.
Thieves starting off with this P1 exactly how you want. You get this initial time, but the Ravens actually do a great job of breaking right on in. Usually when you see a team take control of that P1 hard point, you're basically forcing that second team to hit that early rotation. But London are able to get back in, pick up a couple of these kills. So this final 15 is going to go in their favor. And you already have Nasty and Paul X off the rotation. The Thieves, so far, starting off this game a little slow.
Yeah, and take a look at the cross that we got right now, specifically for player 5. Zero sits in a primary position, takes down 2, and with that, it will limit the forces. If the Thieves are going to half off of spawn, but it's the beamer from Sam LaRue that will open up the avenue rather for the Thieves to maybe make their way inside a top boat. And the one player that you love to have in a position like that is going to be Envoy. Trades aplenty, but it will be the Ravens who are walking away with the majority of them. Kenny gets the last laugh of the fight. And with the Thieves rushing in the way that they are, this is great time for them. He and Octane combine for 2, make it 3 as Polex gets sent flying. Afro alive on 2 HP. He gets killed by a stun. Everybody's dropping. And all I know, Jay, is that Thieves sit in the hill.
Yeah, this is the remaining 20 seconds is definitely going in favor of the Thieves. Now you just had to start thinking about that rotation. So number 4 in Envoy, a huge one-on-one gunfight to eliminate this player from top green. And look what he's doing. He's able to hit that full pitch. Gonna catch a player in Polex off guard. One player in 0. It's gonna be a player that spawns behind him. Does Envoy read it? I don't think he does. So 0 should be able to approach this gunfight. He actually does. And Envoy gets the kill as well. Just when you were thinking that the Ravens are gonna have the spawns, have the rotations, the Thieves are able to break on in, but then they take down that kill onto Envoy. They control the hill for the time being. Should be able to switch this lead here.
And props to the Ravens for being able to rebound. Octane falls off the 5 spree, but in the meantime, little plays like that, right, are what has made this Thieves team so scary in the hard points. It's not just the incredible slayers that you have on one end, but it's the little plays that somebody like Envoy can make. A nice response in the feed. It's overall a 3-for-1 in favor of London, as those 25 seconds look to tick away. Meanwhile, on the rotation, it is London who's going to be here early, specifically Polex, who sits at the top of the tower. And that's going to catch a lot of the Thieves' attention, specifically Octane, giving out the callouts, trying to initiate that Paul is trying to make the play. A big 1v1 as both players struggle to get up the ladder. Paul, for one, can't trade on the second. A nice trade for the Thieves to take, and boy, do they need some time at this next hard point. It's the one to do it on. We'll see how the Ravens look to try and retake.
Yeah, Polex almost just ruined the party on the side of the Thieves. Him just staying alive in that top building allows 0 to try to hit that late flank. If 0 to win that huge one-on-one versus Kenny, but spawns would have potentially flipped, and then London will be able to have control of this hard point. But as for now, the Thieves controlling the back spawns, controlling the hill for the time being. You see a lot of pressure starting to come in from a bunch of London players from all over the map. One player left here is going to be Envoy. He has to try to go big. He gets taken down in London. They break on in.
And I love that play from London as well, right? They full send it just by a few of those engagements, which we know how this hill can be. A little bit scrappy, a little sticky in the backside of the spawns, but okay, never mind. The spawns are flipping everywhere back and forth. I was going to say, it's a good play by London, and you could argue it's an even better play that they now have in their favor. The final 10 seconds, they'll give that to the Thieves, and they will prepare for next. Gavutu can be a mixed bag from time to time, as Paul watches a nice little explosion happen in front of his face. We'll say goodbye to the eyebrows, but at least it's the time that they've now got in their hands. 120 to 91. The final 50 seconds of the first set of rotations, and right now it has been the Ravens in the driver's seat. Let's step aside and go to a listening with London.
He didn't come into me. No, he's going to actually front broken draws.
Front.
Three dead. Get time.
You're looking for push up straight away, give me a sec.
I'm looking mid right now. Mid, front broken dead.
Nice. One boat now dead. I'm one shot.
Nice, I'm going new. I heard you. I got one for you now.
This scrap is huge, by the way, guys.
Yeah, yeah, I have all your crosses, Trey. He's low boat, Trey. He's going mid tank, right?
Don't see him mid tank. He's still got me hold.
No, it's Envoy. Envoy's going you. I stunned your pitch, Trey.
They love new, Paul. I'm coming down.
He's not top broken, Trey. He's front kitchen. I'm going draws new.
Nice, Trey, good shit. Could be close.
I'm rapping to you right now.
Listen, 2 gonna spawn out. Yo, one top boat, 2 out the play, guys.
I need time. We can try this. One top boat. I'm traveling over you, Marcus. I'm traveling over you.
Yeah.
I need him on the right side.
Yo, their steps, guys. Their steps. I'm nading it.
I'm on one top boat.
One shot their steps, guys.
Third. I got need it. He crossed that.
Close.
Yeah, top boat. Did he push our side up?
Can you give me a sec?
No, bro, I can't listen. He's on the rock, draws. On our rock, listen to me.
Heard you. Yo, I got a kill.
Tell me, draws absolutely for you. I got him hill, so on rock.
There's two rock on me, bro.
On the rock,
Okay, the Ravens find themselves in the advantage. Those comms, everybody is spitting fire right now amongst each other, despite having the new player in the lineup. Paul seems to be sitting right at home. A stunned Thieves team for the time finds themselves down 50. Let's step aside and see how the comms now sound for the other side. Let's go to a listen with LAT.
There were 2 on nice. There were 2 on
Yeah, he can be out.
Only top out. There's right now. I'm behind. Where's that? Third thing. Trey, weak. I don't want to. I'm native. Across. Our clip rock. One low clip. Low clip. Our circle steps. I can be nice. Our circle steps. I can count.
Time too.
I want to back. I'm playing for us. I'm looking at this. I'm mid-take. I'm top out. What's up? P5. I got nade. I'm on shot. Could be P5, guys. I'm going. I'm located after location. I'm still tanker now. Hey, I'm top green. Top radio. Top radio. I thought 2 1 green 1 radio. 1 green 1 radio. Watch your tank. Dead. Mid afro. He's challenged just in the middle of the hill. Secure this time, bro. Secure this time.
It's a good time.
Mid. Weak. Our side old. And it's circle thing. Here, I'm circle with you. Oh no, traded. Circle thing. I don't see this guy. He was there. I think he was the time. I'm holding for a second.
And the comms are just clean coming in from the Thieves. You can just tell if they're able to get back into this game with a great hold on that P2 hardpoint. They just have to execute this bake on P3 because a lot of commotion that happened the first go around was Envoy trying to do everything he can to try to flip these spawns, but the Thieves doing a great job of doing it right now as they're able to take control of the back. London still holding on from the front.
And Afro still being a menace with the SMG. He eventually gets traded out, but yeah, man, to the Cubs. I mean, there's not one thing going on now. There's not anything going on Gavutu that the Thieves don't know about. How about Octane? How about Envoy? Great little trades for the front side of this hard point, and Envoy is ready to fry again. Now sitting on 4 in a row. How great could streaks be for this next hill if they're able to get it? Final 10 awarded to LAT, but what could be the hard point to decide it now sits up and is going to be in the London camp. You see Envoy's awareness trying to be prepared for what could be the spree. He gets taken down, and so do the Thieves' confidence, as they'll have to settle for a break. They'll have to settle for a little bit of time as Octane is able to combine for 2, not the 3rd, as Afro still lingers.
And the perfect way for the Thieves to play this or try to win this game is to try to continuously force the spawns of the Royal Ravens on the backside, but they are able to flip it. So now London, they're doing exactly what they need to do to close out this hard point at this hill. Trap them in towards the back. As long as you're able to eliminate a couple of these players, or at least trade a couple of these kills while you're still picking up this time. This is the best possible position right now for the Ravens to close it out, as they find every single kill 15 seconds away from taking map number 1.
And they've got them in a trap. They've got them in a trap right now, Jay. The Thieves cannot break out. They've got to contest. They've got to do something, but Afro is frying. 5 more seconds. Drazah hops on the hill for a second, and the Thieves continue to get picked apart. And London answering out of the gates on Gavutu hardpoint. You've got to be kidding me.
Okay. I just remember the Thieves tweeting out a whole bunch of Kenny memes saying, hey, you play us on Gavutu, you have a better chance of doing anything else. But that's 2 back-to-back Gavutu hardpoints that we have seen the Thieves drop. One to Atlanta FaZe, now the second one coming to the London Royal Ravens. The Ravens, they just played that beautifully. The very first rotation of hardpoints, they were able to break into that P1. Right off the rip, when you break into P1, that's great, because if you're the Thieves, you're expecting them to be early off the rotation to try to bounce back off of that P2. They break into that P1, they chain into the P2 with about a good 30 to 40 seconds, and then they also get P3 as well, with Envoy trying to make the play to flip those spawns. Right there, the Ravens show you why they are one of the top teams that we have in hardpoint, because even when they do not have the spawns, they're doing the correct things to try to break these hills. Perfectly executed on that P4. That was the only way the Thieves are going to be able to get back into that hardpoint and potentially win map number 1. But when the Thieves are trying to hit through that lower beach side, they're basically flipping the spawns for themselves. What all the London players have to do is just pick up at least 1 or 2 kills from the front side. They do that, they're going to spawn out towards Cliff, and you basically put the Thieves in a trap, in a box towards that back P4, and it's basically impossible to try to get out. London, they came to play so far in this series, up 1-0.
Yeah, they did, man. And it puts a smile on my face because it's so impressive to see a team who literally has a substitute go up against what is arguably the best team in a certain mode that we have in the game. I know there's some arguments to be made, but the memes are out there. I mean, I made it my desktop wallpaper, for God's sake. The LA Thieves on Gavutu, you don't want to see them on it. And I'm going to be switching my desktop wallpaper once the series is over. We'll see. But it's impressive, right? And also, on top of that, I don't even think we mentioned this guy's name throughout the entirety of the map. Nasty goes 32 and 20. you and I had a little conversation about Mr. Byron Plumridge. I love the name, by the way. It feels like he's never talked about. It feels like he's never truly highlighted, right? You got the veteran in Zero, you got the young slayers in both Afro and Gizmo. Nasty's gone underneath the radar, and he can have these games, these moments where he just explodes and takes over, and that is exactly what we saw there. The layers that this London team has is uncanny, and we just saw it there on that Gavutu.
And this is what makes this team so scary, because if Nasty's putting up numbers like that, you remember what Gizmo was able to do all throughout the Stage 1 qualifiers. He was basically the second best flex player that we had throughout the entire league. You have Zero, who performs at the major. He's coming back fresh off the majors, putting up the same exact stats.
Yeah.
And Afro, he's been their most consistent guy. If Nasty's that player that pulls out a third AR on Gavutu, puts up 32 kills, I'm telling you, like, this London team has such a high ceiling, because when Gizmo gets back in form, he didn't have the best performance at major, put up like a 0.8, and they still got top 3. So imagine if he was playing at his best, and you have Nasty playing at his best that he currently is right now. This team is definitely in contention for a championship.
Yeah, an impressive win to start off this series. Let's take a look at the top performers in Search Destroy for both of our teams. It's Afro leading the way at a 1.12. On the other side, I guess it's not great if you're the Thieves. I mean, you'd prefer to have your top performer probably at least be above a 1, but they cannot say that at all. And how often, right, have we actually even seen, I just thought of this, the LA Thieves drop an opening hardpoint? Rarely does it happen. Yeah. I'm pretty sure, Jay, that is only the second time in all of Vanguard, including the Kickoff Classic, that the Thieves have dropped an opening hardpoint. They've got to be stunned. I mean, they've got to be somewhat surprised that they dropped that. And now coming into this Search and Destroy, it's not been one that's treated either of these teams kindly, right? We know for the Thieves, right, they are 0-4 on Berlin Search Destroy, and you can see the stats that will back that up. This map has by no means been their strong suit. Search Destroy in general clearly has not been one game mode that's treated them kindly.
Yeah, you see it right there. 42% round win, which is 11th in the league. You're not seeing a lot of success there. Your KD is dead last in Search and Destroy. That means you're not getting a lot of first bloods. First blood percentage is 48%, 8th in the league. And then even in 4v3 situations, there's a 65% chance of winning it. You have a man advantage. It's still a great percentage, but those need to be locked up. Like 4v3 situations, you have the man advantage. With such stellar players that they have on this team, they should know. We should always go fly around, play the trades. We're usually going to see a lot of success. But this Thieves roster, they just haven't been able to put it together in Search and Destroy yet. And I feel like the biggest talking point that we were able to discuss before the series even started was Octane. Octane so far, even in respawns, his overall KD before the series even started was sitting at a 0.94. But even before he was on this LA Thieves roster, think back to when he was on the Surge. His best game mode was Search and Destroy, and right now it's going to be his worst. He's sitting at a 0.87 in the mode. If you want to see success in Search and Destroy, it all starts with this guy, because if he can start to get going, picks up the sniper, does it with the auto in his hands, he will start filling himself, which opens up the lanes for the SMG players to bleed playmakers. You need Octane to step up in this mode in order for the Thieves to really be that championship caliber team.
That's a great point, partner. I think you've taken the words right out of my mouth. I mean, we've talked about it a lot for this Thieves team. Who's going to step up in the Search Destroys? Is it going to be Octane? Can it be Drazah? Can it be Kenny? We know the talent that a player like Envoy has in Search Destroy, right? There was no surprise about that with his last 2 seasons on OpTic. He can be the playmaker. The problem for the Thieves, though, is that your leading KD player in Search Destroy on Berlin has got a 0.58. Right now, Envoy has a 0.58 on Berlin Search Destroy. So if history looks to repeat itself, somebody from the Thieves outside of your leading S&D player in Envoy has got to step it up. You take a look at the numbers in terms of first bloods, 9th versus 1st. Despite what has been not a great performance on Berlin specifically, the Ravens know how to get the job done early in these rounds. And the Thieves, well, they have not. Let's go ahead and jump into the Search Destroy, though. Now on Berlin, we're into this bad boy. And it will be the Ravens kicking things off on the attack. The man that we've discussed a number of different times is going to be starting us off on our screen, sitting in a nice little position over at the library. The bomb is down, and that comes at the hands of Nasty.
And he's able to get out with his life as well. A trade does go down, so it makes it a 3v3 situation immediately. But a lot of pressure coming in from the Thieves players in towards bottom library. Drazah's able to take down Paul, make it a 3-2. Now with 30 seconds left, Nasty does find one, but Afro, he's the safety net. Even if Nasty drops here, the Thieves players are going to know his position. If Afro can try to take down one, he should be able to close out this round.
Yeah, and you'll see the Thieves try to maybe formulate somewhat of a body shield type of situation. Afro, for one, just has to stay alive, 20 HP. And how about the plays from Afro? Kenny will make him test the shot, and Afro will take that challenge every day of the week. A 2 versus 3, in which Nasty goes big inside of the street. That then sets up Afro in the post-plant position. He'll grab half the Thieves there. And what a start for London.
And that was just good pacing off the rip from London. To go down there aggressively towards that B bomb, get the bomb down immediately, make it a 4v4 retake. Even though the Thieves did have the numbers, this clock was not on their favor. As Afro puts himself in a great position, or like I said, all you have to do is just take down one of those gunfights, and the last guy is either you're sticking to the defuse or you're going to commit towards that gunfight. And Afro reads it perfectly that London are able to take the first round. But look at this pressure.
I was going to say, an interesting little play. Quite a bit of pressure from everybody over at Gold. After the first one to gain some information, he'll take that info and escape with it. Quite literally the scout right now for the Ravens as he and Paul look to make some magic happen, much like they used to in Cold War, and they will find that it very well could be the rotation calling out to their veteran. Zero, as he'll look to make the play, catches out the first, catches out the second. Good night to Kenny, and it's all up to Drazah. How about the information gained out of London? They call out the rotation, they set up their veteran, and he delivers.
Such a great play call to come in from London to send 3 people basically straight through middle broken, take control of their side trains, and then that forces the Thieves to make a quick decision. They could have potentially got the bomb down there, make it a 4v4 retake, potentially get a kill on the backside of train, but they decide to push through their spawn, and that's exactly how London wanted them to play that round. They ran into the trap of Zero as he was sitting in the back of the spawn, got a 2-piece, and that was 4 up, 4 down. Such a clean round coming in from the Ravens to put themselves up 2-0.
Zero getting some nice information in regards to where the Thieves look to go, and Octane able to put through his first kill of this search destroy. It only took 3 rounds, and we'll see if he can continue to maybe keep up the pace, rather increase the pace is rather what you'd like to see. But Kenny able to find the second one on to Zero. The game starts to level out in favor of the Thieves, as now it's all up to Afro. A quick 1v4, but he's got information on 2 of them. But so many players, so many things to look at. Thieves started off with the first blood, and they get the one that counts, the one at the end. Solid rounded response.
And that's how you stop the bleeding if you're the Thieves. Just match the aggression with the aggression. Octanes opens up with that first blood. Then eventually they take control of that middle statue area, find a couple kills in towards middle broken. Then in a 4v1 situation, Afro, he does find one, but eventually he gets taken care of. So that was a clean round coming in from the Thieves to make those adjustments, to not sit back and allow London to just be those playmakers, to allow them to be the guys that are going to go out there and try to enforce the round. But the Thieves are able to close it out. Back on the attack they go. Drazah, good opening shots into Afro, not able to get the pick though.
You see, Thieves are trying to play around that first blood. It does not happen, but at the very least, Drazah tosses out a prayer. Is able to take down Afro in the meantime, but it's been the automatons so far throughout this round 4 from the Ravens. But on the other side, it's the MP out of Envoy, who now brings things square at a 2-2. 55 seconds left. A lot of time to work with if you are LAT.
I'm pretty sure Zero was able to at least spot that player in Drazah. Drop down from it a broken. So now you're going to see number 6 and Nasty starting to rotate back towards that top fire building. But Envoy's in a great position to shut this down. He's actually able to spot one. He's going to spot both players. So can he stay alive? Drazah's going to be there aggressively with them. So they get the first, but Zero immediately turns it into a 1v1.
Oh, and Zero doesn't know. Zero did not see him go back toward the plat. He thought he might try to challenge this from fire. How about the plays from Envoy up close? I thought, Jay, for a moment he was getting a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah.
But his ability to stay alive sets up Drazah for one and then seals the deal in the 1v1. Made Zero think rather that he was going for the pinch. Again, the Thieves staying with us.
That round all falls on Envoy's hands. He was able to work his way through the middle of the map, find himself behind a player in towards backfire, finds that kill, makes it a 2v2 situation, and then he gives that information like, hey, I have control of their spawn. You can wrap this back, get this bomb planted for free. And then even in the 2v2, he disengages from the engagement, allows Drazah to eventually get in the fight, and they were able to clutch up huge plays coming out of the Thieves.
Nice shots from Zero off the start as well. Pepper's up too. He's gonna have that information for the team. The fight's already going on toward the back alley. Kenny responds with the first, and Drazah, aBeZy gets the information. He stays alive, but at the other end, it's the Ravens who come through with 3 big ones. 2 out of Paul X specifically. And they're aware of Drazah's position. Paul says, thank you very much. I'll take down the final 3, give him the hat trick, and give the Ravens their 3rd round.
And right there, the Thieves, they sent 4 players towards that A bomb. It's a 4-on-4 battle. The only thing is, they weren't expecting a Paul X to go in there and pop 3 kills on the round. Great adjustments coming in from the Ravens. Just like I said, keep up with that aggression. It all starts by getting that first blood, and Paul X, he does the rest. Picks up the final 3 kills on the round for the Ravens to stop the bleeding. Now go up 3-2 back on the defensive side.
The Thieves finally making the play over at B. Seen quite a few A attacks. We'll see if that man Octane can find a first blood. Right now sits at 1-4. The man that we talked about. We'd love to see him step up in the search destroys. We know he's got the talent for it, but Nasty, despite having a few melees at his feet, is at least able to take down 1. And speaking of 1, it is a solo mission now for Paul X. There was ever a time to come away with the clutch. Now could be the time, but sitting on that 3 spree. We'll see if he tries to make an attempt at it, but not a whole lot of time. Get some info there on to Kenny. It appears he will play for the streak, Jay.
Yeah, Paul X is not going to give up his life for free. If you're the Thieves, you potentially want to try to shut him down on this kill streak. As Kenny, he is going to be able to spot him. So now Envoy trying to put himself in position to pick up this kill, but Paul X, he actually reads it, and he's able to win the gunfight as well. So even though the Thieves are able to win the round, good progression towards that B bomb. Get it down. They get a couple of trades. Nasty, I thought he put himself in a great position to at least get 2. The movement was a little funky. Finds himself on top of a red barrel. It's a little scary, just in case. But the Thieves, they're able to win the offensive attack. Getting that B bomb planted exactly what you want to do. Even though Paul X does pick up that last kill, it's still going to be lingering in the back of the minds of the Thieves players that he's on a 4-3. We need to shut him down.
Yeah, they absolutely know. And nice kill at the end, by the way, from Paul X. I'm not sure if he spotted the top of the head, but that's just one of those kills where you almost wish that we couldn't see through the walls a little bit, just to show how impressive something like that was. But into round number 7, all square at 3, and Nasty again able to deliver the first, and also has some words on the second. He's also going to lay down the objective potentially, as long as Octane cannot do some damage from the middle. Overall, the trade still favors the Ravens. A 3 versus 1. It's going to have to be the ace at a good old Sam LaRue. 35 seconds to work with on that objective. A tall task and then some. Give him all to Nasty.
That was nasty out of Nasty to go in there aggressively. Obviously, you have Zero who's watching the cross. So Zero's giving them the information like, hey, you guys already have the man advantage. If you can potentially pop a 2-piece, it's a free bomb plan. Nasty said, don't worry, guys. I'm going to take care of it myself. Especially with the way that he played on that map number 1. Confidence is flowing through his veins. Finds the first 2 opening kills. Makes it a 4v2. And then Zero, he does a great job of not initially dying to Octane. He picks up that kill of the player that was going to the late flank, forces it to a 1v4. And an Octane, still a great search and destroy player, just not going to be able to clutch it up right then and there, as the Ravens are able to go up 4-3. But you see the Thieves. This time they're going to be taking that bomb over towards A. Ravens are slowing down the defense.
Swing round already. Much needed W if you are the Thieves. Envoy gets tagged up, and Drazah not able to deliver. Paul X does fall off the streak, so someone of a positive if you are LAT. Player number 3 in Kenny. Still looking for information toward the middle side of the street, and he will find his second of the round. Great work coming through from Kylo Ken. And I believe that Kenny's also got some information on one side of the map, but it's Nasty on the other side. Flank after flank. Nasty now brings it to a 2 versus 2. You saw LAT aware that Zero's got to be back here somewhere. They've worked so hard to get this one done, and they'll be awarded for their efforts. Nasty it be, but it will be the bomb being planted now over at A. Envoy will lay down the objective, and can Nasty do it again?
Down to 1v2. Nasty's going to work his way all the way around the backside of the spawn. These players do have some kind of information. He's going to be trying to attack this from B. But once he spots Envoy in that corner, you're going to know that it has to be a crossfire setup. He's going to go for the chase onto Envoy. Not going to be able to get the kills. Octane watches over him just in the nick of time to pick up that kill. Great round coming in from the Thieves to not rush play that round. Nasty, he was able to find that kill onto Kenny in towards the back boathouse. You force it to a 2v2, but right there is where the Thieves need to make a game plan. They decide, hey, we're going to push through the back of their spawn. We catch Zero with his pants down in the back of the fire building, make it a 2v1 situation. Let's get the bomb planted. Let's play corners and play the trade. Perfectly executed out of the Thieves. Even though Nasty he had every single ounce of information right there to clutch that round. Just not able to do so. 4-4.
4-4 indeed. Big round specifically from Kenny. Gets the information. Nice work done. Oof. And Kenny could be erased from this round had that bullet not gone through the fence. It's another chance at life as the bomb quickly planted again at a big Byron. Mr. Plumridge doing the objective work as Paul was able to answer early. Drazah on the other side, stunned inside a library. That could set up Paul X for another kill. So dicey, so careful, but drops as well. Drazah for 2. A 2 versus 3. Bomb is down. And the Thieves, knowing exactly the way that London love to play this, we saw it just a few rounds ago. Afro in the preferred positioning. He'll take down 2. It's a double for Afro. And with the time left, Octane will not go for the defuse. 0 versus Octane, sure. Octane wins the fight, but it is Afro. Both kills on the site. And what a play from him as the Ravens put themselves up 5-4.
This has been a great search and destroy from the Ravens. With the early offensive attacks that they have just been putting a lot of pressure towards that A-bomb. So you think the Thieves, right there on their defensive setup, they're saying, hey, we're going to attack this stupid and broken. We're basically going to give up B for free, and hopefully they attack this A-bomb. But it throws them completely off guard because, once again, it puts them in a 4v4 retake kind of situation. Now, with the clock not being on their side, Afro does what he needs to do by taking that player off the bomb. He doesn't really need to pick up the second, but if you find 2, that's even better. Forces it to the 1v1 and a 0, plays the clock beautifully to close out the round. Ravens, 1 round away from closing this out, and you see Nasty in a position already at this B bomb. The pressure's going to be here. 0, also here for the assistance.
That's just great, at least for 0, to give Nasty all the information that he needs. And he sees it. Shout out to the Hot Hands Lounge, letting us know exactly how that play formulated. It's the vet giving the young gun the information, and right on cue, he will deliver. The barrel a little too close for comfort there if you're Envoy. Really not a whole lot of information to work off of. They've got 2 players over at the library. Envoy sliding on through. Not confident in getting this bomb down because, Jay, he's got nobody with him.
Yeah, they're not giving the Thieves any breathing room. They said, hey, you got to watch your flank. You got to watch your front. You got to at least try to open up with the kill. But Nasty, shooting in the way that he is able to take down 2 on the round. Octane does get the trade, but now it's all left up to Octane in the 1v3.
The human turret. Can he deliver? Paul X with the info over at the statue, and that will be the game in the books. The Ravens answering in the search and destroy, the one S&D that has held them back so many times is the one that will promote them now to a 2-0 advantage versus LAT again, Jay. It is a roster with the substitute, taking one of the better teams that we have in the CDL. My goodness, what a game, and what a game specifically out of Nasty and Paul X. 21 combined, a game and a half from those 2. Incredible stuff.
You gotta feel good if you're London to come out here and finally get a win on Berlin Search and Destroy. Doesn't go all the way to around 11 like it usually does for this team, but they finally see the 6 at the end of the scoreboard that puts them up 2-0 in this series. I think their game plan in that Search and Destroy is beautiful. The way that they started off, obviously the early B pressure, when you do that, you're forcing a couple players on the defensive side of the Thieves to always play that position. But then in the mid-round adjustments, to continuously be aggressive towards that A-bomb, Nasty was doing work. Him and Paul X open up that A-bomb whenever they wanted. Thieves send 4, Thieves send 2, doesn't matter. They were always going to win those gunfights. And then at the end, you see it. Like, that game plan started to just, like, it was turning the heads of the Thieves players because, all right, they went A, they went B. I don't know what they're going to probably do this round. Let's try to attack through middle. And what London were able to do so well was just the game plan was on point. They said, all right, We went B off the rip. We went 2 back-to-back towards that A bomb aggressively. Let's slow it down here. Let's just try to go for that B plant once again, and they see a lot of success. Afro going huge in a great spot towards that back post. I mean, back bow house, not once, but twice, clutching up for his team.
Yeah, man, I know that we're excited, but there is nobody more excited than Gizmo, watching his boys from across the pond. I know it's getting a little bit late right now, but I'm sure that hashtag is flowing. Hashtag 4JGiz. The Ravens are going to see if they can make this a 3-0 sweep for their man, or can it be the opportunity for the LA Thieves? It will be a Gavutu, but the last time that we saw Gavutu, it was London who were able to secure it. Make sure and stay with us, folks. Game 3 of our current series up right after the break.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Mountain Dew.
Alrighty, friends, welcome back to day number 2 of our Major II qualifiers. We're in the middle of our second game of the day, and it is the London Royal Ravens up 2-0 versus the LA Thieves. You heard that right. You saw the vetoes on your timeline, and you thought, okay, I'm not going to tune in. Surely this is going to be the Thieves. Not at all the case. London have come out hot, but Jay, can they do it again? Can they beat Thieves on double Gavutu? I mean, that would be the ultimate resume bump if you're Paul X right now.
If they can get it done, I'm going to be mind blown, because obviously for the Thieves, this has been their bread and butter map in hardpoint and in control. They are undefeated in control on this map so far, sitting at 5-0. And so far through this match, you see Paul X, substitute or not, the guy is coming in hot, ready to go. 1.32 on the series so far. Needs to have that same exact performance here, because this is a tough matchup. On the side of the Thieves, they're undefeated, like I said, but their team KD on this map is sitting at a 1.11. On the opposite side for the Ravens, they're 4-3. Their team KD is at a 1.06. So it's basically almost even. But the Thieves, you put it on their side that they're a little bit more comfortable on their map.
Oh, and I love, though, what we're already seeing from Afro. He instantly flanks to the backside of P1, finds 2 off the start, aware of the talent that this Thieves roster has, regardless of on attack or on defense. The Thieves, as you said, Jay, are no joke on Gavutu, specifically on control. They've yet to lose it, and despite the nice plays coming through from Afro, Thieves will finally establish some control inside of the boat. Zero and Afro, they both get sent home packing. And into the respawn screen as Paul, he gets made quick work of as well, halfway through at that A zone, and it just appears the Thieves will not fall. The nice kill comes through from Nasty. That will halt things for the moment.
You see number 4 in their base, which is going to be Envoy, just trying to cause so many problems on the backside of the couple players of the Ravens, trying to at least stall this clock by hopping this beat point. He eventually does get taken down. And London, they're able to retake map control. So now if you are the Thieves, you have to try to chain a couple of these kills together.
Ooh.
Envoy with the teammate onto Kenny, even though he does pick up that kill, does make it a 3v2. So they're able to at least eliminate all these players from this 8 point. Almost the second tick of progression is about to be done.
Nice nade comes in from Nasty. And Afro's going to give this one another go. He wants the challenge for it. He'll win the fight. He'll actually take the fight versus Drazah. Envoy in a position to try and clutch. It's all up to player 3. That being Kenny, has to go for 2. Not able to do so, as the Thieves will continue to cycle in players. And this is going to be somewhat of a frustrating moment. If you're the Thieves, you're throwing more lives at this than you would like. Now in the back of their base, but Kenny finds a double. That could be the opener. The Thieves yet to capture A up to this point. And I believe it's Afro who sits in the bottom. Still waiting, still lingering, as Afro goes for 2. It's Afro who goes for 2. 10 seconds. And as you said, Jay, they've got to go now. They've got to go at this. Time starting to slip away. Is it going to be an opening round for the Ravens? Clock will stop at 1.8. Paul X shaves one off the top of the tank. And Zero, knowing that there's a glimmer of life, decides to challenge for 1. Pulls out the pistol, gets dropped. Afro falls, and it will not be the capture. It will not be the capture. The Thieves don't get it.
Wow, what an insane round coming in from the Ravens. And then just in the nick of time, I'm pretty sure it was like 1.5 seconds left. And Nasty comes down P1 steps, able to win a huge one-on-one onto the play that was sitting on that 8 points. So the Thieves are not able to complete either one of those segments. And they also lose the round by at least 1 kill, with Nasty clutching up at the very end to give the Ravens their very first round of this map number 3. I mean, just tell you, man, I thought that the Thieves were going to be able to close that one out. The Ravens were not going to give up easy, man. The non-stop pressure coming in from these young players.
And as we said, I mean, obviously they lose the coin flip, so we're gonna be playing Gavutu regardless. But them to be like, yeah, we're gonna play Gavutu hardpoint. Let's do this. Let's just go ahead and play what we feel comfortable with.
Oh my!
That is 3. Nasty specifically on the 3 spree. Go ahead and give him the 4th. Go ahead and do it. Big Byron is having himself a series and looking to continue to go off. That'll be 5 in a row. As you just see, the Ravens are feeling all kinds of confidence as Paul nearly finds 3 in a row himself. A minute stopped on the clock as player number 5 and 0 has snuck his way through over at the B zone.
And this is what the Ravens are able to do so well. They cause so much problems at 1 point, which eventually allows 1 player to sleep through and try to at least get that first segment on that B.0. He is going to get taken down before he does so, but now this opens up a Nasty finds a huge kill onto Octane. You see him trying to take top gun positioning. A couple players from the Thieves still trying to contest this from the bottom middle of the map. If you're Nasty, all you want to do is try to stay alive here. Envoy does find one Afro with the trade, but just kills going back and forth. Afro able to come out on top.
Oh, and that's an unfortunate little angle as Envoy not aware that he was over at the top gun, or at least forgot about it. So as Nasty sits toward the top, it is Paul who will linger in the objective. Clock stopped at 34 seconds. As Paul drops, it's now an all-out headbutt in the bottom side of the boat. We'll see what Afro looks and elects to do as he'll make his way onto that B zone. So the Thieves got two things to worry about. Not just that A progression, but also some plays being made over at the beach side as well. Time still ticking away, but Envoy with the double. Paul X literally goes into the abyss. I have no idea what just happened to him. Excellent plays out of Envoy at 14 and 9. Staying alive from range as well. Alive by 4 HP. 10 seconds left, and is it going to be an equally dominant defense out of the Thieves side as they desperately need some momentum going in their favor, being down 0-2. A great nade tossed out as Afro gets brought down as well from the back. That is going to be a clean 4 down. The Thieves answer.
And it all comes on the back of Envoy. If he doesn't pick up that 2-piece, there's a lot of commotion going over there towards B. But if he doesn't pick up that kill on that 8 point, that's going to be the Ravens walking away with that, extending it by a minute, and then the round goes deeper into it. But Envoy, such a huge clutch 2-piece to secure the defensive round for the Thieves. Finally able to put some momentum on their side, and they were also able to outslay by at least 2 kills there. So if it does go to a round number 5, the Thieves are currently up by 1. But back on attack they go.
I'm so glad I got you, Jay. I would have no idea. I'm just looking at all kinds of numbers. I don't even know what to do with them.
Good with numbers, my friend. I'm good with them.
You are indeed. You are indeed. It's a nice double. That's all that I can do. Nice double coming in from either side. Half the lobby drops in just a matter of seconds, and just like that, we'll see how the Thieves elect to try to play an early mid-round decision as Drazah initiates the fight over at the tank. He falls. Meanwhile, Envoy, nice wins over at the top side of the ship. And so with the arrows directing the way that they are, the Ravens elect to make a few plays through B. And really it comes down to the Thieves got to stay alive for as long as they can over in the ship. And as long as they do so, that pinch is not going to matter nearly as much. The pinches aplenty. Pinches aplenty. Oh, comes with 2.
Oh!
Away the final with the pistol. 5 in a row for Paul X. As we said, having a resume-like game, letting everybody know in the CDL, I'm available, baby. I'm available. 25 seconds left. The Thieves, they've got to do something.
Thieves just have to get out of their spawn. Nasty has been in their base basically since the beginning of this round. Only 20 seconds left. The Ravens are starting to slay, picking up every single kill in the feed. What was just a 1-kill lead on the side of the Thieves is now going to be a 6-kill lead going into this round number 4. If the Ravens is able to hold the line, even with Afro giving up that free team kill, does not matter. The Ravens are just answering and doing the easy work on the defensive side. Put some up by 6 kills in this round number 4. So if I'm the Ravens going into this offense, all right, if we can go out there and complete A and only try to contest B, that's our best case scenario. But you want to make sure that you keep the kill department in your favor for that round number 5.
I guess this is one of those situations, or maybe if you're both sides, you're like, well, I guess it's okay that it's not going by ticks, right? I mean, at least the kills are somewhat close. Nobody has yet to fully capture that A zone. We'll see if the Ravens will be the first team to do it, as Envoy will strike first, now reaching the highest kills in the lobby. This will be joined alongside by Nasty. Can Envoy be the difference maker? Can he be the playmaker as he was in the one round that the Thieves have got to claim for themselves? You got to imagine a moment like this for LAT. You just got to stay composed. This is a round that you're expected to take. A defense on Gavutu surely should be yours. With a nice double and 0 contesting over at that B zone, it's a lot to worry about if you're the Thieves. As they get strike down, it's now the Ravens' opportunity to continue to push out this B lane.
Yeah, and they're going to be able to complete this first take of aggression as well. Pollock, some great shots onto Drazah. As you see, they're not even worried about this 8 point. They are just trying to pick up all the kills. They're currently up by 6, or currently up by 2 lives in this round. So that puts them up by 8, but eventually the Thieves are able to shut down that B pressure. But still, a couple of the Ravens players just being nuisances in the back of the spawn of the Thieves players. Afro is here. He's able to take down one, takes down the second as well on a 5-3 work towards some streaks.
Nice plays being made from Afro. Oh, the slide. He waits, he hesitates, but it works out perfectly. Great shots coming through from Afro. 1 away from the streak. You gotta imagine that tongue has gotta be flying. Ayo, indeed. Nice shots. Oh, Envoy able to take him down. As the Thieves a moment to breathe, but they've got to get right back into the objective. Drazah finds himself on the flank, over toward the middle, wipes away the players, over inside of the A zone. A 2-for-2 trade as the Thieves look to continue to do some damage control.
If you are the Thieves, you just have to try to minimize this kill deficit that they're currently down. Puts them at 9 right now with 30 seconds left. If you're London, starting to total up. Probably want to complete this 8 point because this is definitely a winnable round now that they have that early tick progression towards that B point. Drazah, good shots to be able to at least take down 2 players off of that 8 point. 27.5 is here. The contest is here. Drazah is able to find 3. Octane with a little bit of assistance to give him the 4. But the Ravens, they were able to secure that 8 point, extend this time by a minute.
They do extend it. You notice as the Thieves take down a few players in the boat, they instantly rush toward the spawn, aware of the trap that they can get the Ravens in. Farthest pushed up player is going to be Afro as he takes down Envoy. The nice nade from afar comes through from 0. Kenny still sits in the base. He still sits on the outside of you while Drazah looks to lock down middle. Back-to-back headshots. Can he find the third with the pistol? The answer will be no, but a good halt so far from LAT as every player that's been pushed up past the 50-yard line has instantly been met with bullets. It's not looking great so far for London, and the question will come in at some point, Jay. Do the Ravens look to slow down knowing the kill advantage that they've got? Or do they try and push this one? It appears that they are parking the bus for the moment. 20 seconds left. It looks to be around for the Thieves.
Yeah, Ravens, they want to make sure that they get defense for that round number 5. But as I say that, they're still giving up a couple of free kills. Envoy, he's trying to at least give his team the opportunity to get the defense. Octane does take down 1. But kills are just going back and forth. The Ravens, I'm pretty sure with that last couple of kills at the very end, they will be able to secure the defense going into this round number 5. It got a little scary though on the Thieves. If they do not shut down Afro when he's pushed up towards green, he was on a 5 spree. You would have seen a totally different gameplay if the Ravens, if Afro picks up that glide bomb, they're saying, okay, we completed this 8 point. We got the glide to work with. We can go out and try to close it out right here with this offensive win. But they did not pick up those streaks. They played it safe. They make sure they had the kill lead. So that should give them the round 5 defense. Here we go.
Here we go. Could it be double Gavutu victories? The Thieves on attack. Will this be the 3-0 sweep for the Ravens? Or can the Thieves answer back? We'll have to find out as Octane starting things off nice. The early kill, they're on to 0. And we know what Afro loves to do. The flanks, and then some more flanks. Already in the base he goes, catching off Envoy. 3 fall straight in the feed. The Thieves look to balance things out, get some pressure through middle. A nice double comes through from Kenny. Still alive, still hanging out, and still thriving as 3 players sit strong in the bottom side of the boat. The Thieves look to stack, and that'll be the first hit guaranteed.
And this is what makes Ravens so good, because look at the pinch that 0 is able to set up. Goes all the way around through low beach side. Finds that kill towards top cliff. This is going to allow his teammates to eventually break on into this 8 point. Paulx finds 1. Nasty finds 1. Last player up is going to be Envoy, as he's able to take down Paulx, as Octane does win a gunfight onto Afro. But still, a lot of pressure coming in from London through these late flanks, through the middle of the map. Thieves are able to shut that down. They should be able to secure this 8 point, extend this time by a minute.
Oh, the first time we've seen an A capture.
There we go.
It happens in round 5. It's time to get mixy. It's time to get crazy. Kenny with the auto up close inside a ring. Shut down. Unfortunate if you're Kenny, but still got a lot of time. 1:40 on the clock. As we said, a map that LAT has relied on so many times, undefeated as they come into this final round, as they find a nice double for the opening. The first attempt, really the first look at that B zone. And they've got a 3 versus 1 established over at the tank. Job done on the first, but it's Afro and Paul X who can buy 3 of their own. How about the retake out of the Ravens? Picture perfect. Minute 15 left.
Now it's all about holding the line if you are the Ravens. Take a little bit more of that map control. Get yourself towards that top ring. See, they have full control of that. The Thieves have a minute to work with. They're trying to attack this positioning from that top ring. Paul X takes down 1. Unfortunate team nade comes in from Envoy, so now it's a 4v2. Nasty's able to at least win the engagement here, 1-on-1. Fortunately, he is going to lose the gunfight, so the Thieves, they do have ring control for now. 45 seconds left. The Ravens, all they have to do is hold down this cross.
As we said, that's really the checkpoint. If you're the attacking team, you get toward P1, you have a chance, you have a constant lifeline. It's the 1-for-1 to start. Kenny and Paul X both off spawns for their respective teams. A lot of green pressure coming in from the Ravens as they trade out once more. Octane hanging out with the AR as Afro puts in some shots from range. He gets taken down by the nade. The clock will be stopped as Drazah does everything he can to hold on to the objective, but that one gets taken right out from underneath him. By no means a life count advantage as Envoy somehow stays alive inside a ring. 6 versus 11, the final push out of the Thieves. Can Envoy be the playmaker? Can he be the playmaker? Up close, can he catch Paul out? No, he will not. The great coordination, the great double comes in from Nasty as he will eventually drop 8 more seconds. It's gonna be on to Kenny. Can he get here? No, he gets dropped as well, and that will be the 3-0 sweep out of the London Royal Ravens. Not at full strength, but watch them fly. Taking down one of the best teams in the CDL with a substitute on double GvU2. Give me a break.
That is what you call a statement coming in from the Ravens to get it done, not even with their full roster. Typical performance from Paul X from start to finish, man. He was so consistent, but the player that we have to highlight, it has to be Nasty. The performance that he was able to put up on 2 GvU2s with that AR in his hand versus players like Octane and Kenny and even Drazah with that 3rd AR in his hand, he was dominant from start to finish of this series. The Ravens, they came to play today. Thieves, they started off a little slow, especially when you go into a series thinking like, oh, we have 3 of our respawn maps that we are barely lost. These are our best respawns. They're probably sitting there delusional confident. The Ravens, they were just feeling the ultra vibe. Everything was on point. Paul X is the perfect fit when you talk about a substitute player. Let me just tell you right now, if I'm any other team in the CDL, I'm probably going to give this guy a ring, because that's one hell of a performance versus the best hardpoint team in the game, and especially the caliber of players that are on that side of the Thieves roster to come out and put up a performance the way that he did. With only like 1 or 2 days worth of practice, it's very typical out of Paul X. Great series coming in from the Ravens.
Truly tippable indeed. And I mean, like we said, man, we're talking about this. Our only concern, right? We knew how great the Ravens looked yesterday. Yeah. You go from obviously one of the bottom teams in the game versus New York, then to coming into this game versus one of the better rosters and on their best maps. It's unbelievable. It's a crazy story, but they go 2-0 despite not having Gizmo. And what a series, as you called it, my friend, for Nasty, the guy that never truly gets highlighted enough for this London lineup. 32-20 on that opening GvU2. He goes for 11 in the search destroy and 34-28 on this GvU2 control. A 3-0 sweep for the Ravens. And my goodness, we were talking about, okay, well, once we get to the Tuscan, like that can be even a scarier map for the Thieves. That could be maybe the opportunity for Ravens to force the game 5. They don't even need it. Double GvU2 victories. We've only seen the Thieves lose GvU2 once. They drop both of them here. I don't even know where to go from here, my friend. I really don't.
Neither do I, man. Neither do I. We got to get the desk back because I got to hear what their thoughts were. Because I know we said it was going to be a great series. But for London to come out like that, Ant, Oh my God.
Bro, London they're disgusting, dude. And we got to show some love to Paul X. Like, you guys just said a lot about it. Like, this guy came in on a couple days' notice. And what makes him so good is that he's winning his ones. Like, every time they're in a team situation, because they have great chemistry, right? Paul is there. He's in the right spot. When somebody's dying in control in that last couple B pushes from the LA Thieves, every time somebody died, Paul was the guy there to get that kill to help them regain map control. And at times, pushing up and getting a two-piece with the pistol. We see him do it a few times. There were massive clutch plays in the side of Paul X. The hard point was beautiful out of Nasty. When they were LA Thieves were trying to come back into it, they rotated to P4. They were set up. Nasty gets a two-piece from top cliff. They break on in, get 30 seconds. They die. Then they rotate and they set up and they get P5 control once again, where it's just like a brick wall on the side of London Royal Ravens. Like, they are executing their game plan perfectly right now. They look phenomenal. I'm excited for the future.
Listen, if you're a GM of a team right now, you need a player that can just about do it all. You better hit up Paul right now.
Seriously.
aLLeY, we were talking about it in the back room as well. London, top 2. Like, the way that they're able to adapt with subs, you know, anybody
Top
out
3.
there against any team. Let me hype them just a little bit, Ed, all right? Like, any team they go against, they can change the pace, they can adapt, and they always find a way to stay in it or win.
Speaking of power rankings, you can check out mine on the CDL YouTube, by the way. That released a couple days ago. Looking real good after that London win, but I got to talk about Nasty was lights out for me. He has continuously gotten better since the first week of qualifiers. He was still playing good across the board, but the major, he hit for me. He's continually to shoot up. I mean, 1.6 in the hard point, 1.43 in the search and destroy, and then 34 and 28 to end the Gav control, man. They beat LA Thieves on not one Gav, but 2.
Yeah, LA Thieves were 9-1 across Gav. If you the control on the hard point playing Gav, 9-1, and just lost 2 of them to London with a substitute player.
Got that right. And speaking about the substitute player, the scuff play of the game is going to go to him. This guy was an MVP in my eyes and nameless. I mean, the 3K that he was able to get here, Paul is able to get the kill, which is important, but the best part about it is what he does after that first kill.
Yeah, I mean, he gets a 2-piece, then he gets a 3-piece with the pistol, and what's great is he did this a couple times throughout this series, right? Like, he puts himself in these fantastic positions, and we've seen him last year, right? Like, have the big maps on checkmate, like when he burst onto the scene. We were calling him the Red Menace because he was so good, just frying. So I'm excited that he got his chance here to prove his worth going forward, and I'm sure there'll be some teams in his inbox.
It should be. The man that got a 2K put out the pistol and John Wicked him for the 3rd. That was insane. But the Game Fuel Spotlight victory, post-victory spotlight, I'm sorry, I'm hyped right now, is going to go to none other than Paul X, man. Go ahead and get up on the screen.
Hi, Paul. Congratulations on your win, man. I got to ask, what was it like having to fill Gizmo's role in this roster with only a handful of days of practice and then to perform like that?
Well, they made it like really easy for me coming in. Obviously, me and Gizmo play like the same role, basically kind of like the same player. But coming in, you know, the coach made it really easy on me. He just, hey, this is what we do. This is how we play. We're a running gun team. Just do what you do, because he knew I was obviously here last year, so he knows how I am. He knows how I play. I like to take gunfights, and that's what they like to do. So they just plugged me right in. You know what I mean? So I'd say the 2 days that we had practice for, like, they were on and off, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. I have to fill in. I have to get used to, like, the European voices again because, you know, I was in NA Challengers and I had to come back to this again. So it kind of threw my head in a circle for the first, like, day or two. But after that, I kind of got used to it.
Paul, I got to ask you, dude, because I've been looking at your tweets recently, and it just seems like your mom is so passionate about Call of Duty. How is it to have that type of support going into each and every day, each and every match since you've been with the Royal Ravens?
Oh, dude, it's amazing. Obviously, the last couple months for me, I've been in the challenger scene after last year, you know? So it's been stressful and tough on me, to be honest. So I'm grateful for, like, the London boys and Dom calling me up to let me show myself, show you guys, show everyone what I could do, because a lot of people had doubts on me, but the one person that never did was my mom. She always supported me. She's always been there for me, so it feels amazing.
Gotta love those moms. And then also, I have another question. I know you're loving it being on the Royal Ravens and you've been fitting in great here, but I gotta ask you, out of the realistic teams that are gonna make a change, is there a team that you have your eyes on that you're hoping comes to you?
Listen, I don't know if I can answer all that.
Oh, man, like, listen, now's to speak your piece, right? You want them.
I'll be real. A lot of people look at my challenger results of this year, and people are probably just like, whatever, he's not as good as he was last year, whatever. But I hope that they see now that I can still perform at the highest level, and you know, whatever team. This is obviously my last match with London. So whatever team wants to make a change, I'm literally down for any single team. Like, I just want to get back in the league and show you guys I can still do what I do.
Hey, Paul, man, watching you come in as a sub for London and go lights out has been phenomenal. Every single map, like, you put in plays that helps your team win, which is incredible. The impact kills are out of control. I'm gonna leave this last part for you to thank, you know, the fans, of course, your parents for supporting you, man. I don't know if you got a girlfriend or a waifu out there, show her some love, but also at the end, I want to hear what your plan is until we see you again in the CDL, because I feel like it's only a matter of time, man.
Well, you know, obviously, my parents have been supporting me since I started, which was like 6 years ago. So they helped me get everything I have, all my equipment, everything I ever started with was because of them. So, you know, big shout out to them. Big shout out to the London people, not only like the players and the coaches, but, you know, the whole organization as a whole. They got this done fast. I literally flew out in a day, got my jersey. They made everything amazing for me.
Wow.
But yeah, as for my near future, like, I have to just go back to the challengers until, you know, a team decides that they want to take a chance on me again. I don't know what else I have to do to prove myself, like, you know what I mean? But I'll wait for that call. I'm just gonna keep playing and doing my thing. One thing about me, I don't stop fighting, bro. That's my thing. Like, challengers or not, I'm still gonna be playing.
Good luck.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Paul, you're a class act. You're incredible,
Appreciate
man.
you.
I wanted to catch this. Now, you take it easy, man. I seriously hope that we see you again, and I hope you have a great day.
I hope I see you too, bro. I hope this is not my last interview.
Damn right. Take it easy, man. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's Paul X. And I'm going to be honest, like, yo, aLLeY, that's kind of bittersweet. I hope this really isn't the last time we interview him, but we have to say, the subs that we have seen, substitutes that we've seen this year, Hixie, you got Paul X.
And it's always the surprising ones. It's always the ones that are placing like T6, like in the pack. You heard him say, he's like, you know, my placings don't reflect me as a player. You know, I can still play at the highest level.
Capsidal,
Capsidal is a perfect example of that. Prior to the APAC region, yeah, he was winning everything, but it was APAC, so everybody was overlooking it, right? Challengers, man, you gotta go watch their players, just like Paul, constantly going at it in that gauntlet.
Got that right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving on with the day. It's moving pretty fast so far, but coming up next, we have the game field marquee matchup. It's gonna be Toronto Ultra versus none other than Minnesota Røkkr. I can't wait. We'll see you guys on the other side for some more CDL action.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Zenni. Armor your eyes with Block's gaming glasses starting at $24 by visiting zenni.com/CDL. Upgrade your game with a Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. The Call of Duty League is brought to you by TeamSpeak, the official broadcast communication partner of the Call of Duty League.
Four warriors. Confronting them like challenging the winter itself. The snow that blinds you gives them strength. And the ice belongs to them. Prepare yourself for a cold wind blows.
Haters talking to me, tell them pipe down. Or it's lights out, zeros on the debit, baby, all I do is swipe now. Gucci sweater 5,000, stunning, buzzing. I be going up, no ceiling. Wow, ballin', running, getting to the paper, I'm peeling out. They gon' know me as legendary. You in the stands, I ain't need no commentary. They gon' know me as legendary. You in the stands, I ain't need no commentary. Ain't no option, ain't no secondary. I just throw it out like a Hail Mary.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Call of Duty League, where we're always bringing the big plays and hot action. But I gotta say this outright, ultimately, out of all the hype videos out there, yo, Toronto Ultras kind of slaps. Yo, that song is fire.
That song is fire. The videos, the aesthetic is good. They're like color-coded with the outfits they got on, even the same sneakers. Minnesota's is fire too.
Minnesota's is nice.
I honestly think they have the two best like hype videos going.
They do. Toronto just makes me want to get jiggy with it. But let's jump into the matchup right now. When it comes to Toronto Ultra, I mean, nameless. This team, they've been good on hardpoint, they've been good on control, they've been good on search and destroy. But the thing about this team is I feel like their peak is going to be when they bring it all together. Toronto Ultra can be something special.
Yeah, for the game fuel keys to victory, like hardpoint, it was just terrible. Major 1, 0-8. That is unacceptable, and they still were able to get top 4. This is a team that's been great at search and destroy for 2 years now. So they figure out that hardpoint, it'll just push them over the edge. You know, what, 11th in break percentage, 10th in rotation win percentage, 11th in average points after the break. Got to start from ground zero. Pressure advantage on offensive control. They're second in offensive win rate at 33%. We've seen them have some great moments on Tuscan, and then as of late, also Gavutu. They've been playing a lot better than the beginning of the season. Also need more slaying as a roster. 0.95 overall KD. Everybody on the team is below 1.0 besides Cammy, and Cammy, usually we're expecting him to be popping off better than, I think he has like a 1.03. Yeah. So, and that's with the hard point. Once they figure out their hard point, naturally all those statistics will go up. But, you know, as a unit, they just have a lot of improvement.
I just see Bans and Kleenex just pop off when it comes to respawn. And as long as Insight has the scope on search and destroy, it's over. But they're going to really have to bring in. They're going to need to bring that consistency because aLLeY, Minnesota Røkkr, okay, we haven't seen much from them this year, but with the next major being in their hometown, I really want to see them show the league what they're all about.
I completely agree with you. And going up against Toronto Ultra, both of these teams are struggling in respawn. The issue, though, is Toronto has a little bit more of an edge when it comes to control in this squad. But again, there's going to be a role change onside Minnesota Røkkr. Priestahh is going to be pulling out the SMG, whereas Attach is now moving into an AR. So when it comes to the game fuel keys to victory heading into this, Minnesota, the defensive control issues start with not giving up early captures. Last in average time time left after first capture, and last in defensive round win percentage. And will the role change help? They're 6-13 in respawn record. Again, we're just going to have to see. Against a team like Toronto Ultra, who's also struggling in hardpoint, though, it's a bit of a toss-up, and winning the rotational battle will be critical. Minnesota is 3rd in hold percentage. Toronto is 11th in break percentage. So it's just really who's going to be that rotational gunfights.
You got that right. The game field player to watch is going to be none other than Attach and Nameless. You've been following this guy for a very long time. Yo, I got to say one thing. Ever since I saw Attach start playing to now, I heard a black don't crack, but this guy is a 21 his whole life.
Yo, right? Seriously, this guy's handsome. He literally doesn't age. But yeah, he's the Mountain Dew feature player, and I think he's going to pop off with the AR. What we saw with the AR out of him was just phenomenal, man. I think he's needed to be an AR for years. I honestly think Attach is like mid with a sub right now in his career, and he has been for like 2 or 3 years. Like, he has some fantastic moments, don't get me wrong, but the level of play that we've seen SMGs get to and evolve into the last couple of years, I don't think Attach can keep up in the SMG role there, right? So I'm excited to see him with the AR, man. Naturally, as you become a veteran and later on in your career, a lot of people sort of end up becoming AR players or flex players at the very least, and it's time for Dylan to move on over to that.
And he is a beast with the AR. But ladies and gentlemen, you know what? Enough from us. Let's go ahead and jump in the game. Let's send this over to my European brothers. Bryce and 10, you got another banger, man. Go ahead and take it away.
Thank you very much, Fella. Yes, I'm very much looking forward to this one. A lot of history between these two teams from Mountain Dew marquee matchup. These two teams have played each other many times in the past, and it's always been good.
Yeah, I think the one that you probably want to speak about mostly is, of course, the reverse sweep of all reverse sweeps that obviously Minnesota managed to pull off against Toronto Ultra. Well, okay, it's maybe not quite the gravitas of that situation in this game for our marquee matchup here. But my goodness, it should be an interesting one, to be honest with you. I think, you know, you talk about that mix-up when it does come down to Røkkr. Let's see if Attach can hang with some of the better ARs in the league. We know what Cammy's going to do on that flex roll. You know, Insight, very, very solid as well. It's a difficult matchup for him to kick off this AR roll, but as we head into Kabuto, let's see how it's going to go.
Well, at the moment, it will be Minnesota. They do have a little bit of control straight away into top ring, but you are right, the story with these two teams, of course. Minnesota not having a great record in respawn, and what's more famous than Toronto Ultra, 0-8 at the major in hardpoint. They'll be looking to try and correct any mistakes moving forward to have any sort of a shot at winning the next one.
Yeah, well, Kleenex finding a 3 in the middle and then immediately killing himself is not going to be ideal, but nonetheless. Look at the control here for Ultra. They got plenty of time over towards P1. Standy just trying to cause some issue on that side of things, but not able to get it done. It's all about this fight over towards the boat, and Standy will get those final 10 seconds or so. So good luck from him. But control is over towards Minnesota Røkkr in a good spot. And yeah, for Attach, it's a very quick, it's very much from the frying pan into the fire with this one, though. As said, we know how good on the AR side of things that Toronto Ultra can be. We can Attach to keep up with that. So far, still good. 4-2 from him, locking this one down. Hard push for the Ultra.
Well, doing well so far at the moment. Slow and steady wins the race. He's just trying to hold off any of the pressure Ultra can get through here at the moment. MajorManiak backing up as well. Eventually will go down to Insight, but right now, Røkkr not really letting Ultra get a toe into this one.
Yeah, they've just defended very, very well. Holding this one down is, in terms of holding these hills, they are very good at doing so. We know that Ultra, not necessarily the best at breaking that. And I wonder if that's just maybe, is it a pacing issue or something along those lines? Yes, okay, you have Kleenex who's lights out fast, bounces pretty quick as well, but other than that, you know, these players not necessarily the fastest on the map, you would say, necessarily. Correct me if I'm wrong, but from my point of view, I don't think these boys are known for flying around the map. Very much team-oriented, and that's maybe why we're not seeing some of the bricks come through for them so much this year. At the moment, though, they do have control over towards P3, but hard fights for Bance to try and win as we watch MajorManiak all the way around from behind. Is he going to get caught out? Doesn't get taken down. Is he going to find Cammy as well? It has to be said, it's a bit of a slip from Insight to let him through, and Røkkr break it.
They do, and Røkkr should be able to hold this down for a little while. Ultra trying to find their bearings here, not really able to get anywhere near this one. Kill still coming in for Minnesota. The next trying to get that first kill. Going to try and get pressure on ring, but he is going to get caught by MajorManiak. And for Toronto Ultra right now, they're going to be thinking, can we even get near this next rotation in time?
Oh, they're trying to break through for this final 20. Not going to be anywhere near it. Spawning way, way out. We've got Priestahh setting up over towards the boat side of the map already. It's been really, really good from the Røkkr so far, limiting Ultra to as little points as they possibly can do. And now it's through the gauntlet. If you are Ultra, Priestahh's going to be the first to find a kill, though. You can already see Standy. He's lingering around over towards ring. They'll surely find one, may well find the second as well, but just very, very well played from Røkkr. Setting up halfway around the map, and it means Ultra, they've got to break you a couple of times before they're even anywhere near the hill.
I wonder at what point it starts to become a little bit of a mental block in Ultra's head. Like, we keep talking about it, it's the main storyline about the moment. Top 4 of the major, 0 hardpoint wins. And at some point, they've gone back to the drawing board and going to try and make this a little bit different. However, Minnesota are looking to pounce on that weakness, continuing to rain terror on Ultra as they finally get the spawns in and finally get some more time.
Yeah, they get a little bit of control. You've got to be careful not to get yourself locked into those back beach spawns. But they get through, they get some time. For all that, it has really felt, well, relatively comfortable for Røkkr. It's not necessarily a gargantuan lead. 30 or so points. Ultra will bring that down to 20 by the time we do head over towards back green. But it's about winning these fights on the transition, which is really where they have been struggling. We spoke to their coaching staff during the major event, or at least I did, and I was speaking to them and they said it's all about rotations. That's where we see where we're going wrong. And well, case in point right here. Ultra have been second best at getting to these hills first. Røkkr very much got their heels dug in.
They are, and this is becoming more and more of an issue. We've been speaking about the Mountain Dew player of this one, and obviously Attach had changed the AR. 12 and 7 at the moment. On the other side of it, Cammy having a slow game, and compared to how he was playing last season and how much stock people actually put on this man, you know he's going to be a little bit frustrated.
It's really not going fantastic for Toronto Ultra so far. Røkkr have been there first to every single hill. The comms are going to be good, so let's listen into them. Let's go to a listening with Minnesota Røkkr.
I stun one there, T1 eLLeY.
Alright, inhale, clean-X. One shot our side, one shot our side.
Nice. I'm getting in hill. Almost gonna be ring stairs or their side. Ring. Our side dead. Yeah, you got me.
I'm helping you.
Get the time flipping, Mike. Yeah, let's my ring stairs.
I think ring stairs.
Yeah, clip into our side. I have our side. He's on P3 already. On P3.
Mid-stairs, watch out, Mike.
I repush Mike.
He's arming.
Their side circle. Mid-step 10. Nice. One more our side. Inner weak. Oh, shit. Look at spawners. He's inner ring. You might be able to tell this guy quick. He's left side. I'm nading over. I know we're upping right. I didn't have a ring.
Manson ring.
I naded him. I'm coming up. Charlie, I have your left. I got one weak time. Oh, he's their side heading. Cammy. Close then. On my way. Nice.
Entering.
Nice, Mike. Nice. I can pick him mid. I'm dropping low. Listen, I'm going to get clipped. I'm heading here. Yeah, mid's open.
On the heady.
I'll go back for time. I'll go back for time. I'm on a 4.
You're gonna hit mid-stairs, Mike.
I have clip. They're already here.
Let's hit him.
I'm one shot.
I'm looking at your challenge.
Clip on me. He's in the ring. I'm pretty sure. One shot clean-X in time. Nice. That shit. 3. One's low clip on me. Look at mid. Inside his side. He's on low. I'm low P5 for you. I'm low P5 for you. I'm naming my low. Is he still top? No, he can be holding. Green. Nice. Wait for a second.
On time.
Top
right button time. He's running up on you.
Yeah, you make top boat. Clean-X 3L spawn. Top boat and 3L spawn.
I'm making clip.
Nice fuck. Mid. Vance, T1. He's going ring. I'm hitting over cliff.
Yo, top right boat, Clean-X guys. Top right boat. Top boat, one boy. He's absolutely no.
Right?
Nice, stay alive ring.
I'm looking top left boat.
I'm
looking
top
left boat. One's mid wrong. Looking OB boat. One's top left. Inside. One shot top left. Clean-X is in right. Okay, what's T1 in mid? I'm in mid. Nice, good shot.
Well, playing in the comms, I got to say, at the moment, the Røkkr are absolutely flying around the map. Still have the lead here against Toronto Ultra, and you can tell they are trying to up the pace of this one, continuing to just trade blows everywhere.
Yeah, that's been working out for them so far, but Ultra are slowly but surely clawing their way back in, and it's thanks to Cammy. 4 streak from him. He started to step it up a little bit. 12 and 19 is not the numbers you would come to expect. But you're finding big kills around like that. Gets you another 15 or 20 points just off the back of one player, and the rotation comes in your favor as well. The most important gunfight is for MajorManiak. Can he find his way around the back over towards P1? Yes, he can, but he gets taken down straight away. Can the rest of the team still continue to lock this down?
Oh, Standy with an absolute laser beam. Now looking for this one. Only Clean-X left alive as well, but it will be a complete sweep from Minnesota Røkkr. They brought this one back. It's not even scrap time. It's the majority of the hill for it. Ban's trying to do some work up top ring. Give his teammates an opportunity to pinch this one as well. Here comes the Ultra pinch, by the way. They're looking to get through this one as well. Ban's going to be on the top. Huge kill for him there, and Røkkr gets shut down. Huge. Somehow Toronto Ultra smashed that one wide open, and it's off to the races as the rotation now must come in.
Yeah, they sent 3 towards the back of the hill. Really well played by Ultra, but they've foregone the spawns over towards P4. That's the only thing that they sacrificed there. But for that, they do find themselves a lead. Can they find a little bit more than that, though, as they continue on in this game? There's a big gunfight going on towards Beach. That's going to be Cleanex to win it. Bance, can he survive here as well? Attached then falls. We can find the second kill in the MajorManiak. That would be huge. Good gunny from Bance. There's the pinch towards the spawn as well. And that is as clean as a break as you're likely to see from Toronto Ultra. Will their hardpoint woes continue, or can they lock in this game?
Well, it's going to be a long, slow push from Minnesota. They're trying to get in position, but the first few kills come for them. Cammy now going to be feeling the pressure. He knows they're outnumbered here at the same time. Pressure from both sides as well. MajorManiak takes him down, and that's going to be a huge kill from Attached to gun them as well. But Cleanex is still on the hill. Cleanex has not gone down in that fight, and he is now outnumbered. He's desperate for the Toronto Ultra to back him up. Players eventually getting into the hill with him, but it's still Cleanex on the board, staying alive on a 5 streak for him. That's all Cleanex to keep Ultra in the lead here.
And they flipped it perfectly as well. There you go, Røkkr towards the back, but he is actually going to fall there, Cleanex. Not sure how that happened. Nonetheless, he falls just short of streaks. Ultra will still be happy with what they got out of P4 there, though. They got the majority of the time, forced Røkkr back there, and now they're in complete control of P5 as well. Nice spot for Toronto Ultra to be in. They lose a couple of gunfights on the exchange over towards this next hell. These next couple are so important, though, as Attached finds 2, 25 and 16. Can he heat up here?
Well, they'll be looking to break this one up. Attached is getting through there. Lovely wallbang from him. He's going to know exactly where Cammy's in that corner, and look at the nade and tacticals raining in. It's only Bance who can do something here. He's trying to stay alive, but it's not going to be enough. Røkkr have broken this one. I'm going to try and push him out, but no. Goes towards the back. Will be picked off as he does it as well. Standy's going to go down at the same time. Priestahh, though, coming in with 2.
Smart.
And somehow Minnesota have taken this away from Ultra. It's all going to be going for the rotation to Ring now.
Let's see what Attached can do over towards Ring, but Priestahh continues his dominance over towards Green. You can already see, though, Røkkr on the rotation. These 10 seconds of scraps matter very, very little in the grand scheme of things. That's going to go over towards Røkkr, but what about these fights inside the hill? Standy will find one. Can he continue to pop off? Cleanex is there, and Ultra will just about win this rotation. They still have a lead. It's about a 20 to 30 point game. Ultra can win it here on P1.
Priestahh with a 5 streak, though. Trying to cut off any reinforcements that could come through. And here comes the pinch. Minnesota about to go in. They're looking for it as well. Bance managed to get that first one. Inside gets a second. MajorManiak around the back though with Standy. Gonna go down. It's MajorManiak with 1. He gets Bance with the second, but it's not enough. His teammates have not made it through. Priestahh going to try and keep this tempo going, though. Going to go straight in for it for the contest. Looking for that player inside. Not able to spin onto Insight as Ultra are holding this down from all the pressure from Minnesota. Only a few more seconds left to go. One last push for Røkkr. MajorManiak fighting his way up those steps, but he is going to be taken down by Insight. And that will be the duck broken. Toronto Ultra have finally got a hardpoint on the board. It's not land, but it's still a win.
Yeah, 0 and 8 to 1 and 8 over their last 4 or 5 games. Eventually get one on the board. Good game from Ultra there as well, because it really felt as if